going for the head.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wrestling fans of all ages, welcome to episode 3 of the Wrestling Reality Rundown podcast. It is I, the one, the only, the charismatic, enigmatic SKF Effect Steven. I am joined by the man with the plan, the designer, the architect of Wrestling Reality Rundown, the standard of all Reds, the Red Standard, Caesar. Then, the gamer with the most, the alien himself, the invader. It's me invasion, BT. And then the lady of the reality rundown, the I won't say iconic, the glamorous,
a little bit, iconic,
little iconic, live. And don't let the title fool you. We're trying to edit that up. This is not the pilot episode.
It's
this
updated.
Is episode 3. The rundown has already begun. Let's go on to the fallout of Money in the Bank.
Do you guys mind if we just skip over Money in the Bank? Is that alright? It didn't happen?
No, we gotta talk about a little bit of it.
No! No!
Let's talk at least the briefcases. The briefcases.
Bruh.
One.
Yeah, let's kind of talk about the briefcases because, like, let's look at the last couple of years. We've had, all right, the last year I thought the briefcase was really kind of meant something was when Ambrose won it because that was kind of his first championship, and I think it was a moment that I think a lot of people were really happy to see Ambrose get the win, especially, like, if I remember correctly, that cash-in was when Roman was champion, then Seth beat him, and then Ambrose beat him. So you had the Shield, the champion for one night. That was the last time I thought the briefcase would really meant anything because the next year you had Baron Corbin win, you had Carmella win, and I don't think her title reign really meant anything, nor did I think anyone really anticipated her becoming a champion.
I did.
The next year,
Carmella is money. And it was great because she beat Charlotte Flair, and she beat with the help of the
Iconics! I do have to say, her cash-in was great.
It was. I think the cash-in was good, but I just think that was really the only moment she had in her title reign, or even as Money in the Bank. Like, it was just that one moment.
Yeah, no,
like she was pretty much forgotten when she was when she had the briefcase. Then you flash forward to the next year. You had Braun Strowman cash in his briefcase, and you had Brock Lesnar come in a Hell in a Cell match, and it ends in a no contest, and he loses his title match, which makes no sense at all. And then you have Alexa cashing it in on the same night, and again, just didn't really mean much. Now this year, I think for Bayley, I think it did mean something because the last 2 years for Bayley hasn't been that good for her. She's been on the low end of the card lately, and I think the tag title reign she had with Sasha started with potential, but I don't think it really measured up to the expectations that many people thought. But I think, her winning kind of helps revitalize her. Now Brock winning the briefcase, I mean, I watched that match recently, just as a refresher, and I'm looking at all these spots of all these guys trying to make a name for themselves. You have like Andrade doing a sunset flip powerbomb onto a ladder on Finn. You have Ali doing a Spanish fly off the ladder. You have Drew Galloway or McIntyre, whatever, tossing Ricochet onto a ladder and the dude's like broken in half. All of that just for Brock Lesnar to come in for just 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, like 1 minute, just to climb a ladder. And I just think it's just very disrespectful to all those talents that, busted their ass in that match. And it's just very unfortunate because it really shows, like, where WWE's head is at.
This is how I felt.
Well, waiting to just unleash that. Whoa.
All that rage. Rage. It really pissed me off, man, when I saw Brock win that match because, you know, it's just that it's like I look at someone like Drew Galloway and I could see him. You know, I'm very happy for Drew to kind of get the spot that he's getting, but just to see like Brock Lesnar just come in and take a spot that nobody wants to see him in, nobody sees any more value in Brock, and they for some reason have to go back to this. Like why? Like what reason?
Because Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men. And he sees money in Brock, no matter if no one else does. So...
What the...
Yeah.
It's just amazing me, though, because it's like, the story that they've been telling us with Brock is that nobody cares about him because he never shows up. Like, they're trying to, like, instill a real-life situation into his character, and it just makes no sense at all. Like, if you're telling me that this guy does not matter because he doesn't show up, then what? I'm going to finish this. Why should I care about Brock? Why should I care if you're telling me that no one else cares about him? Like, you're just doing more damage to Brock. Even if you're trying to get him some real heat, which people already don't like him for. Just like with Baron Corbin. Nobody cares about Baron Corbin. Why are you giving him this push? Like, no one cares. Oh my god, I'm so mad!
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Red Rager. A wrestling reality rundown exclusive character you'll only see here. But, to backtrack, we had, you know, the women's Money in the Bank case. As he stated, Carmella was the first. She held it. She did the whole taunts and teases, which are what you watch for Money in the Bank for. You love the cash-in, but the whole taunting and teasing of, am I going to do it right? No, I'm not going to do it yet. That's part of the entertainment value of it. 2 years in a row, you had the women cash in on the same night they won it. That's no fun.
Yeah.
And you give Charlotte...
Oh, shut. Ay.
Also, Bayley can win it. Also, you can brag later on, oh my gosh, she's a 9-time champion.
Stop.
No. But whatever. Bayley's champion now. Keep her with the belt. Let her run with it. But Brock.
Who?
The only Bork Laser.
I was
see him getting it is they have an explanation of why they're giving him the championship match against Seth Rollins at the equal to WrestleMania or bigger Super Showdown. Live from Saudi Arabia. Because Vince loves blood money. I'm sorry, nothing against people, but...
No. It's not live from Saudi Arabia. It's live from Jeddah for an international event. Because we still can't say Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Even though we're still going back to Saudi Arabia.
So, it is what it is. As long as...
I will say though, the best thing about Brock winning the briefcase is the boombox that he's been like making it out to be.
Yeah, the gifts, the videos, that was the most entertaining thing with Brock for a while.
It's the only best thing about the situation. Other than that, it sucks.
Oh, the invasion looks very bored right now for this one.
I just think the two biggest matches, in my opinion, or two most anticipated matches, arguably, on the Money in the Bank were just like stupid. Like, the outcomes were bad. Yeah. Like, Bayley winning, like, no offense. I mean, maybe this is what she needed to get an opportunity. I don't know. I really wanted Naomi or Ember to win.
Ember would have been cool. Nikki Cross would have been cool.
Nikki Cross. Somebody like that.
I don't think she really needed this win.
No. I
like,
mean...
her career is kind of just, like... downward spiraling, but she doesn't need it. Other people need it to boost their career. She's already had moments.
We're not boosting careers in 2019. We're giving it to people who already had championships and careers.
No, but I think that's what I agree with what you're saying. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like you're basically what you're saying is Ember and Naomi. Well, Naomi doesn't really fit that description, but
yeah, I wasn't really saying Naomi. I was it was more for me personally, Dana and Ember, as we kind of talked about last week.
But I just feel Bailey is always a part of things because she's one of the 4 horsewomen. Where Naomi is somebody that is consistently talented and consistently delivers, yet for some reason, because of booking, she has one of the most diverse and interesting entrances, characters, and movesets out of anybody on that roster. And I don't think anybody can argue that, but for some reason,
like
she's...
recent WWE advertisements, don't quit, be a boss.
Yeah.
No, but Naomi constantly gets hurt by booking. It's never her. You're never like, wow, Naomi just sucked. Like, that never gets said for the most part.
Technicality, every female's hurt by booking because...
Yeah, but who has put the time, the effort, and the ideas in that Naomi has? This woman had a glowing belt. Like, she had not just custom side plates. She came up with...
She did that without anyone's permission.
Yeah.
Too.
And she came up with the ideas. She pitched that shit for months. Over a year, actually. Years. Yet, there's other women that, yes, they are deserving. Yes, they've worked hard. Yes, they've been in the PC. Yes, they've gotten opportunities and capitalized them. But they don't come up with ideas. Naomi, not only, yes, she complained when she wasn't used right, but she sat there, came up with ideas, pitched them. She went the extra mile to come up with all these diverse aspects and engaged in all these things. Yet, what is she doing right now? She has a flashy entrance that sometimes gets cut off by commercials or ads. She is in a match, loses. It's just I mean, I'm not mad that she lost. I just think giving it to Bailey, it's just sorry, Skype shut down.
By BT breaking us.
I didn't mean it. I didn't do anything.
It's so hard that you broke your Skype, dude.
I know, apparently. But yeah.
We were on... He figured out moving around some people. Good job. So, we were finishing up the Money in the Bank topic.
And how WWE hates women.
Yeah. And they love you. And Becky a little bit. They love Becky a little bit more now. Other than that...
Yeah, I kind of feel like the women's division, I don't know if it's just me, I just don't feel like there's enough women in their division for Raw and SmackDown. I think it's kind of another thing about the wild card rule that's kind of positive is that, you kind of can get more combinations because I feel like when we're talking about Naomi, I feel like she's wrestled pretty much everyone on the women's roster. And of course, you have like a lot of women on NXT that you could bring up as well, but just I don't know. I just find there isn't that many options in the women's division.
But let's shift gears from that before BT rages out on us for more discussion of Money in the Bank and the faulty women's division.
No, really.
You want to know the downside to the wild card rule? Since announcing it, WWE has canceled 3 SmackDown live events on Mondays so their superstars could go be part of Raw or sit backstage in case they decide to use them.
Uh-oh. I think Steven was a little excited to see Becky at a SmackDown show.
I was until she lost the belt. I was also excited for the Hardys until Jeff got broke. But...
Pardon the pun.
Yeah, my live show just went downhill fast. But... yeah. Welcome to the stream, Call Me Shock. We are talking wrestling because we love it, but we also like to talk about the ups and downs of it.
And if you're new, make sure you hit that follow button.
More the downs, because that's what's going on more. But yeah, so that's the wild card rule. It's going to start affecting the live event sales because you're pulling people from the live events and canceling them.
One of my favorite things about the wild card rule was an interview that AJ Styles did recently, where the interviewer asked AJ, like, well, what is this wild card rule? And AJ's basically like, I don't know, we're still finding out as we go. Like, it just kind of shows, like, I don't even think WWE themselves even know.
It was
Also,
London Panic to try to help Raw's ratings. That's the whole reason why it got done. But let's face facts. As far as people that are getting to use it, it's just a way to have Roman and Kofi appear on Raw, have Becky now and Lacey show up on SmackDown, it's to share the same stars between both shows. The Usos keep appearing back on SmackDown.
Call me shocked. That is a massive down. Sorry. We all agree that's a massive down.
To us, Mr. Money in the Bank, Bork Laser is very much a down because we were hoping to see others, get the briefcase and have a shot at superstardom.
What do you think, though?
The one thing I did like about Brock being Money in the Bank was the fact that he targeted Kofi as well, because I think when Kofi won the title, I think a lot of, even though it was a great moment, I think a lot of people still viewed that championship kind of as the minor championship because Raw is always going to be their flagship show. I mean, even when they go to Fox on October, I still think SmackDown's going to be. I don't know. I just think Raw is always going to be that flagship show because of all the history. And I think Kofi being the champion, I don't sense that he has been like a top guy in the company, but I think putting him with someone like Brock, I think kind of helped elevate him. Even though like right now, I think we see that Dolph Ziggler is going to get that chance against Kofi, but I did like that they put Kofi with Brock in that segment on Monday. That to me is the one positive I could find of Brock winning Money in the Bank. Sort of helped elevate Kofi.
We'll see what they do for it. But, so yeah, the wild card rule, I'm giving or taking. But you know what the wild card rule has led to? And we're talking crazy divisions and whatnot. Because I've been waiting to hear this one. Let's talk the 24/7 championship. Liv?
I have a question.
Oh.
Olivia, do you happen to enjoy this 24/7 thing? I think you said that you were pretty excited about it and hyped for it, I think.
Okay, so my whole thing is I am extremely excited for this because I think it is super fun. But they are doing shit. Like, they have the most opportunity in the world to be doing fun stuff with this. Like, everybody that I know that does their own shows does something like this. Like, the old WRR used to do this. Everybody does these things, and they are so fun. WWE had so much knowing this to just go off and do, tape a bunch of different things where people are getting the belt, and they're literally doing absolutely nothing. Like, why does R-Truth still have it? Like, it's supposed to, especially when they just announced it. I thought it would be more of an opportunity for them to just go off and just do fun things and have the belt kind of flip hands for the first week. But I think it's so stupid that they're literally just letting it go till next week. It's so dumb.
I think that's the thing. I think they're giving it 1 week just to kind of settle it in because we live in the world of social media now.
Yeah,
so
that's my point.
Soon enough it's going to be like Drake Maverick's Instagram stories. He found R-Truth and he pinned R-Truth to win it. And then...
But that's what I mean, though.
His Twitter is going to be him beating Drake. So I think this is what they'll eventually do, but I think right now they're just kind of taking it slow, letting it soak in that, hey, someone could actually escape.
No, but that's exactly what I mean, is they, in order to elevate it, they need to do stuff with it. Like,
we'll see more next week. I was shocked that no one beat R-Truth on SmackDown. I was shocked Carmella did not attack him on SmackDown. What a good friend Carmella is.
That's what I mean. Like, they had so much opportunity to do something, like, with that. They had so much opportunity to film other things. Like, where they were filming was Providence. You could go to all these different parks and just have people pinning each other in different areas and make it look like they were in Orlando because it's been super nice out. Like, I think especially where it's the first week, they kind of let it down a little bit because I think in the first week they should kind of elevate it more so and do what you were saying that they're going to do next week. But I think this week would be the week to do that.
Call me shocked. I want to say it's you say not televised, but like I said, we live in a social media world now where everything's online, and that's exactly what I feel like this 24/7 belt should be. Is you need to keep an eye on all social medias and whatnot to see when something might happen, when someone might change, when someone might beat the belt, when someone's going to walk into someone's hotel room and pin them while they're sleeping, because that happened with the hardcore title. It can happen again. So it's a terrible design, but I love the concept of the 24/7 rule because it can make for more entertaining stuff, and it's going to give more people some exposure that you may not see have match. When have you ever seen Titus O'Neil hold the championship, even if he had it for 5 seconds?
Yeah.
Win.
Yeah, but
Here's my thing with the 24/7 thing.
Sadly,
I don't really.
Go ahead.
I don't really. You're saying?
I said, go ahead, Caesar.
I don't really see the 24/7 thing being anything but just like, your entertaining segment on right after a match. I don't really think, because I don't really put much thought into it because it's like, you look at all the people that participated in it, it's the people that, never get any TV time because they don't really care about, I remember looking and seeing her oh, hey, look, that's Eric Young right there. I forgot he was on the roster. Or,
Shaven now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of these people, it's just getting that TV time that they wouldn't get. And it's, I just don't think it should be taken seriously. I don't know. So apparently the reason was actually because USA Network kind of threw this idea out there, and it was the only reason that WWE liked. So it's not even it's something that they wanted to do. It's just, making USA Network happy.
I gotta make the channel happy.
Because
whatever. I think it's gonna be something funny. I think it's gonna be entertaining.
I don't think it's gonna be entertaining. It's just that how long do you think it's really gonna matter? I feel like it's gonna get old within a month.
Possibly.
They needed to capitalize within the first week.
What would you have done in the first week?
Me?
throw it out.
Yeah.
I would have had the whole SmackDown roster or Raw roster, whoever. I would have just kind of tossed it around because for what reason are you going to have someone take it home for the week? That's boring. The whole point of it is, like Steven was saying, to just have somebody find them at dinner and be like, you know what, this is happening right now. Because within the first, you need to
That's great.
You need to capitalize on this. It's this title, and right now, R-Truth is just sitting at home with it. And he posted a video of just being home. Finally home, no one's gonna attack me. It would have been fun to see, or at least him doing something else with it. Or trying, I don't even know, but I would have liked to see it change hands a couple more times this week, or they do plenty of filming before and after that they could have arranged it to.
Spud's gonna show up at R-Truth's house.
I just don't.
I think he could too.
Imagine Matt getting it and all the stuff at the Hardy compound. Oh my god.
That would be fun. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but
I think the reason, like Liv said, that there wasn't much this week because it was we tuned into Money in the Bank, and all of a sudden they told us that a new championship was coming. There wasn't a long-term thing to it. So I don't know if it's just that this was kind of a last-minute idea. So maybe next week will probably be a better week to judge this 24/7 thing in terms of the creativity, the kind of more creative to it. I think next week would probably be better.
I had to have known that it was happening.
Yeah. And, call me shocked to expect, because management says so. And if management says, hey, go chase after that belt, you got to go do it.
I
think
it's a terrible idea. I think it's a fun idea when you have everything else set in stone, and I don't think that they do. I think it's very apparent when you have a wild card idea, and you don't even know who's on what roster. And let's say if the wild card idea was done right off the bat, and they were very transparent about it, I think people would be more welcoming to the idea. But when you have Lars Sullivan as one of your wild cards, it's like, obviously you don't even understand the full concept of what ratings are. But anyway, like, why are you going to add this championship when half of your other championships have little to no value? So you're going to add another one?
Yeah, that's the one thing I am of like a very big proponent of this, because I think it'll be fun. It'll be a fun new way for them to do stuff, because they have like little to no social media presence anymore, honestly, besides posting.
I can't really see the 24/7 having any value. Like, I can't. Like, even I feel like I just don't think there's any credibility to it. I mean, it's just a championship where you just pin a guy just out of nowhere behind some, like, you know, it's really just for some fun random stuff. Like, I don't really think it's a championship that can be taken seriously. Like, I don't think a lot of people are going to look back 20 years from now and remembering Titus O'Neil's Hall of Fame career being the 24/7 champion.
First ever 24/7
But my
champion.
thing...
Do you remember when Joey Ryan was doing the Iron Man heavy metal DDT with
Iron Man
But
heavyweight?
I feel that's
that's what I'm thinking
different, though,
of
because
as.
that was all done on social media. It wasn't like you're, you know, giving time on a big network television.
No, I know, but that's what I mean. Is I feel like for now it's like they've kind of pushed it to like the network, and that it's gonna be online. I mean, on the TV. I know we'll see some segments here and there that they need to fill with, but I feel like it's mostly gonna be a social media thing, or else. I mean, I guess they could kind of make it last a little bit longer if it's only gonna be during the shows, because I don't see this title having much credibility for very long.
If nothing's
It already
going on
doesn't.
between Wednesday and Sunday, it's not a 24/7 championship.
That-
Anyway,
yeah,
I can see them doing stuff on the
he's ready to
house
get
show.
something off his chest.
Me?
Yeah, you're sitting there. You
Yeah,
look like you're ready to just burst something right now.
No, I just don't... I think everybody watches wrestling for different reasons. That's fine. And I think what WWE used to be good at is appealing to multiple things, not just one. They used to be very good at tying everything in. But for me, like, when I first got into wrestling growing up, I remember, like, when somebody won a championship, that shit, like, helped boost somebody's career. They meant something. Like, winning the Royal Rumble, it meant something. Winning the Money in the Bank, it meant something every single time. Not just because of what it was, but what they did with it. And I loved watching stuff about the Hardcore Championship. You know, obviously not growing up with that, but looking back, I thought that was a fun concept. But they used to have their shit together. Right now they don't. And that's very apparent in so many different areas. I mean, I'm not even going to get into backstage stuff because I'm not going to act like I walk around backstage. But when that stuff leaks out, it's very apparent when you have writers leaving left and right. And then, not only that, look at the championships we have on TV right now. How many of them are you guys absolutely thrilled with a secure division behind them other than just the champion and maybe one challenger? Probably not many of them. And you might have to go, NXT.
For me, the 24/7 championship, it's really just a prop for this 24/7 rule. Like, it's not a championship. It's a prop, basically.
Yeah. But it's just irritating because, I mean, for me, most of the time I spend most of my time consuming wrestling is generally high-flying styles and then, like, women's wrestling. Both of those, I would say, so, like, the X Division style, the cruiserweight style, if you will, the light heavyweight style, all of that stuff, and then women's wrestling, those tend to be my favorites, and tag team wrestling, I would say. But, like, you look at those, and you look at their divisions, and it's just like, what the fuck is this? Like, half the time. And then, like, especially, you know, now you're going to throw this in there, which, sure, it's a cute, amusing idea. Like, it would have been nice if you had other stuff set in stone. But, like, they have so many people on the roster. And it's like, oh, cool, now you're going to have them go chasing this championship we're supposed to care about all of a sudden.
Which, personally, for me, kind of goes back to what Caesar was saying, where I 100% don't agree they need more women on their roster. I think they need to stop putting all the women in these huge matches like a Money in the Bank match, which obviously that's why they did that, but they do all these things all the time, and it's like you're always seeing the same exact thing. If you see Naomi and Natty going against each other, you see them every single week. It's not like you just see Naomi and Natty and then they build a feud. It's literally just they're going back and forth against each other, and Dana and Mandy and Sonya and all these people, they're all fighting the same person every single time. They're not giving anyone any chance for growth.
That's 100% true. And the second somebody gets a championship, if they're not a 4-horsewoman, it's not going to last long. I don't care what anybody says. If they are not Charlotte, Sasha, Bayley, or Becky, and they get the championship, it's literally just a transition until one of them get it again. That's irritating. And then when you get women, high-profile women like Asuka's a perfect example of that being the truth. You put her with Kairi Sane and you call them the Kabuki Warriors.
That was their choice?
Yeah, but...
I know what you're saying.
Look at the Iconics.
Yeah.
What have they done since winning the championships? Lose.
They've lost every single match since winning. That was, like, what, a month and a half ago?
That's a perfect example, though. That's a relatively new championship. And
they haven't done anything really with it.
The reason they put it on Sasha and Bayley is because they're one of the 4 horsewomen. The horsewomen have been very well built. I'm not discrediting their abilities, any of them. But
just to toss in there and to go with the 4 horsewomen, Charlotte was the first Raw Women's Champion. Becky was the first SmackDown Women's Champion.
Yes.
So Bayley and Sasha got to be the first tag team champions.
But then they lose them at Mania, which, if you're going to give it to Sasha and Bayley because you wanted high-profile champions, or however you want to label that, but then you're going to have them lose it to the Iconics at Mania, so they barely had a title run, and then the Iconics do nothing but lose. Why the hell would anybody on the roster go, hey, let's form a tag team and get the championships? If anything, I'd be running from it, just like I would be running from the 24/7 championship, because in 2 weeks from now, it's going to be gone. If they don't, people are going to stop caring about it. It's going to be a joke.
You see, people are going to stop caring like people actually care right now.
Well, yeah, I was trying to be optimistic, but that's true. But, like, the thing is, it's an idea people, if you look on Twitter, which I know Twitter doesn't speak for everybody, but, like, if you look on Twitter, people are like, why don't you bring back this championship or this concept? I think the hardcore championship and that concept has been brought up many times over the years.
Everyone already knew before they even announced it that's, like, I saw my whole Twitter, I was at work when they announced it. My whole Twitter already knew that's what they were bringing back.
Yeah.
Because it was Mick Foley who announced it. Like,
right.
It was on, like...
But then it's just irritating when you have the women's tag team championships that just recently came out and they're already putting together championships is not the answer. And literally...
And
what were we going to say?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
And literally, like, they have such a deep roster that none of their divisions should be hurting. They used to have a roster with much less talents in every division, and every division was thriving. Yeah, there were slow points for each division. It wasn't like they were firing on all cylinders all the time, but they were never like this.
Yeah, I think, like, going off of what Brett said, like, the other thing about the women's tag titles too was, like, everyone was wanting this. Everyone wanted a women's tag division, to the point that even WWE themselves were throwing the hints themselves.
Yeah.
Even before they did pull the trigger on it. And it's just like all of that hype was for what? For, you know, to have your tag team champions just lose every single match ever since. Especially on a team like the Iconics that, you know, they're very charismatic. They've got a lot of personality. you know, I think they carry themselves well as champions, but it's like, you know, if they don't win, what does the championship mean? It's like if someone beats the Iconics, like they pretty much beat nobody. And is that what you want your champion to be? Like nobody? It doesn't, the booking just doesn't make any sense.
But also, what I'm confused about is this was like the brainchild of Bayley and Sasha. And where's Sasha? She's gone. So I'm now confused as to like why they would have even given the belts up. Like, is that what would have kept Sasha around? Like, I don't understand what's kind of going. Like, that's obviously they're never gonna tell us what's going on unless it's a big work. But why take the belts off of them if you already know it's gonna set something off like that? You know, I just don't understand.
I think the biggest issue is that WWE used to be good with storytelling and now they suck at it, and their biggest thing now is that it's all about accolades. Who has the most championships? Who was the first champion? Who is the Money in the Bank right now? Who is the Royal Rumble winner? It's not a story. Nobody's struggling for anything. It's just like, all right, we booked this person and you're supposed to care because it's the Royal Rumble or it's the Money in the Bank or it's the championship. Well, that obviously doesn't work because Sasha and Bayley, when they became tag champions, everybody was excited, but quickly that fizzled out. They lost the titles to the Iconics. People were excited for the Iconics, and now nobody seems to care about the Iconics.
Not because they're not doing stories. They're not telling the stories.
I would even say that the women's championships are in jeopardy too, because look at like Becky has done a great job, but what happens when Becky loses? Like, who do you think she's gonna lose the Raw Women's Championship to? Because right now, in my opinion, it looks like it's gonna be Lacey, and I'm not 100%.
Nikki Cross.
But why? As of right now.
Back.
Not for a while. She wants to be a mom.
But then even the SmackDown Championship, I hate to say this because I actually like Bayley. I don't care.
No, I don't either.
I mean, I like it, but she has to get past Charlotte and actually have new feuds on SmackDown.
And it's too sudden.
More interest, because right now it's like, great, Bayley's the champion, but is she just going to end up losing it to Charlotte for Charlotte to get number 10?
To me, the way I would kind of went with the Bayley thing, I think a lot of people would. For me, I think Bayley right now, I feel is feeling fresh right now as the champion, especially after the last 2 years of just horrible booking. I think right now she's in a good place, and I think, like Steven says, we kind of need to see where the whole situation with Charlotte goes, because like for them, like Charlotte is kind of she's their woman. She's the face of the women's division, and a lot of people throw out the comparison to female Roman Reigns, where you got to make Charlotte look strong. So it's going to be interesting to see how Bayley will overcome that. I kind of, myself, I would have preferred to have seen a Bayley heel turn, because kind of like what Brett said, like a lot of people probably don't care about Bayley at this point because of just the lackluster build that Bayley has had.
And she doesn't really have, she doesn't have any oomph to her anymore. Like, there's nothing about her that makes you excited. She's just kind of like especially like they made her into a softie, so.
She's not the Bayley that we saw in NXT, where she was like a major star there. And I think, would have been a nice time to see something different from Bayley.
Thinking about one of Liv's comments earlier, and I've been thinking about it since she said it too, like, you said something about the Money in the Bank winner. You would have preferred like Dana or Ember, right? Well, I think that's kind of how I feel about Bayley. Like, yes, I wanted Naomi to win because I think it would have like helped boost her career in a sense, like get it back on track, because booking has demolished her, I think. But when Bayley, you wanted like a sudden thing. I think we all wanted that. You kind of wanted that unexpected win to help somebody get on track to be a solid competitor. And then when Bayley wins, it's just kind of like, not too long ago, she was just the first ever, one half of the first ever women's tag team champions. Like, she has that sense of prestige behind her name. So, like, trying to act like it's a kickstart and now all of a sudden she's champion, when, like, we haven't cared for months, it just wasn't enough for me. Whereas if you did that with Ember, I would have been like, oh shit, that's awesome. That's a change.
Yeah.
Like,
and oh, sorry.
No. That's
I was just gonna say, because like we were talking last week, we knew whoever, no matter who it was, unless it was like Mandy, whoever won the contract, we knew they were beating whoever, because we knew that Becky wasn't coming out champion.
Yeah.
Basically, just because it's impossible to have. I love her. We all know I love her, but we knew it was impossible to have her on 2 shows, so we knew that no matter what, she was losing, and we knew that that Charlotte was gonna beat Becky. Like, this was always, like, we already knew that Charlotte was gonna beat Becky, and we predicted that whoever wins that will beat Charlotte. Like, that's what we knew.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it being Bayley and us, not, like I said, not really. I like her, and I don't hate her at all. But I do think that she has had 0 build up. Like, she's just kind of back. I think it was more of a. So if Sasha really is leaving, this kind of keeps Bayley under their wing, maybe. I don't know, but
It's sort of a thank you for not ditching us kind of thing.
Thank you for not quitting and being a boss.
No, but
I died when I saw that.
It's just, I was disappointed when she won, not gonna lie, because immediately, like, when you have a big match like that, the emotions behind it tell you a lot, right when they win. And when Bayley won, I was just kind of like, nah. And then I knew she was gonna cash in that night, and the fact that Charlotte, like, they had to have Charlotte win before Bayley cashed in, it was just extra disappointment for me, because there again, it has nothing to do with a story or a struggle or anything. It was just like, here's another accolade.
But then again, it's like if Bayley catches in on Becky, then she's kind of turning into a heel then, because nobody wants to see Becky. Like, anyone that beats Becky, like, they're gonna get booed, and I don't think you want that for Bayley.
Yeah, but I think that would have been more exciting than just beating Charlotte.
Remind me when we go off air. I need to tell you something.
Okay.
Okay. I got some tea.
Oh.
Ooh. Throw the pot a little bit.
But no, I just personally think that, like,
Edgar!
when you when you win the Money in the Bank, like, nobody comes into wrestling, you know, worried about their best friendships that don't exist yet. So, like, Bayley has the Money in the Bank contract to finally become women's champion again. Well, sorry, Becky, but she's going to cash it in. But even if you turned her into a heel because of that, if that's how you feel, I think that is more exciting than what we have right now. I think right now it's just like...
She might turn her into a heel eventually, though.
Well, that would be better.
I would have preferred it have been, like, in, like, a really sleazy way.
Yeah.
That she beat Charlotte, but, like...
Right.
I mean, like, that's the only way I can see this, living, unless they literally have Charlotte win just for the extra number on her championship.
And I'm afraid they're going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm afraid they're going to do that because she's about to hit double digits now.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they do that, I feel they just completely destroy everything that they could have had with Bayley. She just goes right back where she was.
Bayley's gone too, if that's what they do.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
I fucking... I don't know if we're a favorite show or not, so...
No, we're good. I'm here. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, Rika's curse?
Yeah,
I did that whole rant and I tried to hold back? What?
Alright, redo it. No, I'm just kidding.
I hope for it too.
Let's go back.
Rewind.
Face over.
Fuck you, Brock. Alright, next.
Oh! Whoa! Alright, so if we got nothing else to add, you guys need a mid-card title. We actually do have a mid-card title, but it belongs to one of my friends. It was the Ichiban Championship. That was our Intercontinental Championship. Our ranked.
I think I should hold all of them.
What was that? Caesar censored you.
It's okay. No, I said I should hold all of them.
Hey, we never had tag belts. That was the one thing we'd actually never had. We did not have tag belts.
Amber and I would be team champions forever.
Are you gonna lose every week though?
No. Nope.
Oh God! Ah, shit. I spilled all the tea. That's here.
Oh, the tea.
Right.
Oh
Oh,
God.
the tea drops.
The hell you doing?
Your tea makes me so not excited to tell you what I have to tell you. Well, it's more so not really. It's more so tell everyone, but I need a favor from you.
Me? It keeps cutting out. What are
That
you
sounds
doing?
like a personal problem.
No.
Oh,
Looks like you're having personal problems.
that was.
I held that belt once.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, it was
I held it too.
all of WrestleMania weekend in Orlando. I held it. You just didn't televise it.
I have never held it.
Wasn't that the old belt? That was the old belt. That was never the newer belt.
Okay.
The new more prestigious championship. Ah, see, look, prestigious. Count knows. Count knows. See, and we used to have fun. If you go to our YouTube channel, look back on the history, you'll see some fun 24/7 type style stuff that we did back then. Not Brett, he was never around for us. Liv wasn't there either. But Caesar did something.
They never got me to sign.
Not,
I was always around you guys. Kind of like some other divisions.
No, Jeff Hardy did not design this one. If it did, it looked much more unique than. But it's pretty badass looking.
We were always in negotiations, just nothing ever got signed.
Yeah.
The contract got,
They
got
were
lost.
paid for appearance, but I was too expensive. I guess.
If it was too much.
I read about that online.
They couldn't afford the East Coast connection.
Alright. So, if that's it for the show, Caesar, you want to do the closing?
I would love to do the closing. I want to thank each and every single one of you people for joining us tonight. We greatly appreciate you spending your Thursday evening with us, with me, with Steven, with Liv, with Brett. We appreciate it, and if you have not done so already, please leave us a follow. We would love having you part of our community. We're also on Twitter at WRR Network FL, on Instagram as well with the same name, Steven?
No FL on the Instagram.
No FL on the Instagram, just WRR Network. And then on Facebook as well, Wrestling Reality Rundown. Make sure you sub to us on YouTube as well. Or Steven Multiverse, I believe is still going on.
Multiverse still going on. We're going to start having these episodes clipped onto there. And maybe a few other surprises tossed in here and there.
Woo!
Make sure you follow all the socials. What are you looking at? Get up.
And all of a sudden, Caesar's like knocked out in the park.
Dog bites him.
Oh,
Wow, hey, that was last week. That was last week, if you remember.
Alright, see you guys.
thanks all for watching.